In comparison to their early years, the average person loses up to 50% of their muscular mass by the age of 80. Over 50 million seniors worldwide suffer from sarcopenia, a debilitating illness that steals millions of their independence. More than 300,000 elderly patients are admitted to hospitals each year as a result of falls that are directly caused by muscle weakness. The really startling portion. This significant loss of muscle mass is not at all inevitable, according to research published in the Journal of Physiology. There is a rare group of seniors who retain the muscle strength, function, and even appearance of persons decades younger than they are. But the majority of 70-year-olds find it difficult to walk stairs or simply get out of a chair without help. In strength tests, these super-agers can frequently surpass people half their age. They can also play sports, hike mountains, and lead fully independent lives long into their 90s. What is their secret then? 93% of seniors are totally ignorant of the routines that doctors at the Mayo Clinic have found to significantly decrease and even reverse age-related muscle loss. And the most important habit, which Harvard Medical School researchers discovered can help you regain lost muscle even in your 70s and 80s, is one that most doctors seldom bring up with their elderly patients. In actuality, a lot of medical professionals continue to prescribe medication that is in direct opposition to what science today demonstrates is necessary for preserving strength as you age. Because habit number 1 is one you're most likely doing incorrectly every day. Stay with us through to the end. This frequent error is triggering genetic pathways that hasten the degradation of muscles. In your older years, breaking this one behavior could mean the difference between surviving on your own or becoming reliant on others. Please provide your viewing location in the comment section below before we start. And remember to like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Now let's get started without further ado. Hormetic stresses, habit number 7. The most surprising behavior of 80-year-olds with extraordinary vigor is that they frequently subject themselves to what scientists refer to as hormetic stressors, which are specific types of stress. Hormesis is the term used to describe the positive effects of low dosages of substances that might otherwise be toxic at higher concentrations. Simply said, you literally get stronger when you don't die, especially when it comes to your muscles. According to research from the Buck Institute for Research in Aging, even in individuals far into their 80s, brief exposure to particular stresses can trigger cellular defense systems that not only preserve muscle but also improve its growth and function. Temperature change is the first hormetic stressor that super-agers employ. Short-term exposure to cold, such as finishing a shower with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water or taking a quick cold plunge, promotes mitochondrial biogenesis, activates brown fat, and releases the hormone adiponectin, which prevents the breakdown of muscle tissue. Similar to this, heat exposure from hot baths or saunas activates heat shock proteins, which stop protein deterioration and repair injured muscle cells. According to a Finnish study, regular sauna use, 4 to 7 times per week, was linked to 40% less muscle loss over a 10-year period than non-users. Time-restricted eating or intermittent fasting is the second hormetic stressor. The cellular cleansing process known as autophagy, which eliminates damaged components and enhances muscle quality, is triggered by super-agers who schedule their meals inside an 8 to 10-hour window each day. Even if you don't lose weight, this exercise can improve muscle mitochondrial function by up to 10% in just 12 weeks, according to research from the Salk Institute. Muscle contractions that are quick and forceful constitute the third hormetic stressor. Super-agers frequently engage in an exercise known as conquering isometrics, which involves pushing or pulling immovable objects for 5 to 10 seconds while exerting their utmost effort. Muscle cells receive strong signals from these quick yet forceful contractions to maintain their size and function without putting undue strain on joints. The sporadic character of these stressors is what makes them so powerful. They must be short, with plenty of time for recuperation. When properly applied, these regulated stressors trigger longevity genes, such as FOXAs and sirtuins, which especially protect muscle tissue as we age. When implementing these techniques, try to start small and work your way up to tolerance. Keep in mind that the idea is to create good, mild stress rather than overload your system. The sixth habit is timing proteins strategically. The majority of seniors concentrate on their protein intake, but studies suggest that timing may be even more crucial. Scientists refer to this condition as anabolic resistance, which occurs when our bodies become less effective at utilizing protein as we age. According to research in the Journal of Nutrition, seniors should consume protein at strategic times throughout the day, rather than all at once, as most seniors do. This is the important portion. After every meal, your muscles have a window of time for protein synthesis that lasts roughly 3 to 4 hours. Most seniors miss out on opportunities to gain muscle throughout the day when they take all of their protein at dinner. The best course of action. Every meal should contain 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein, distributed evenly throughout the day. This implies that breakfast should consist of more than just bread or cereal. It should also include protein sources like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie. Lean meats, fish, dairy products, or plant-based proteins like beans and lentils for vegetarians should be the mainstays of lunch and dinner. When compared to having the same quantity of protein concentrated in fewer meals, this scheduling technique alone can improve muscle protein synthesis by up to 25%. Even though they made no additional lifestyle adjustments, participants in a 12-week University of Texas research study who used this strategy acquired an average of 1.2 pounds of muscle. Keep in mind that whether your muscles continue to deteriorate or develop stronger depends on when you consume protein, not just how much you consume. The fifth habit is optimizing vitamin D. More than 80% of elderly people are lacking in what scientists now refer to as the muscle vitamin. The epidemic of vitamin D insufficiency in older folks is subtly undermining your strength. This is why it's important. The benefits of vitamin D extend beyond bone health. Harvard researchers found that vitamin D directly activates genes involved in the growth and production of muscle proteins. Certain vitamin D receptors on your muscle cells initiate processes that maintain and grow muscular tissue when they are engaged. Surprisingly, a groundbreaking study that was published in JAMA Internal Medicine revealed that seniors who had enough vitamin D levels were 25% stronger than those who did not. Additionally, they exhibited markedly improved coordination, balance, and reaction time, all of which are essential for preventing falls. While the average senior has vitamin D levels below 20 nanograms per milliliter, which is considered insufficient, super-agers who retain their youthful strength into their 80s almost always have ideal levels above 40 nanograms per milliliter. So, how can vitamin D be maximized? Although exposure to sunlight is beneficial, its effects diminish with age because by the time we are 65, our skin produces 50% less vitamin D from sunlight than it did at age 20. The typical daily dose of 600 international units is dreadfully insufficient for the majority of seniors who require supplementation. Although this should be customized based on blood testing, research indicates that the majority of seniors require 2,000 to 4,000 international units per day to reach appropriate levels. Incorporate this with meals high in vitamin D, such as fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy, as well as, if feasible, 15 to 20 minutes of direct midday sun exposure. One important caution. Without enough vitamin K2, which is present in fermented foods and some animal products, vitamin D works in concert with K2 to transport calcium to your bones rather than your arteries. Vitamin D supplementation at high doses may be a factor in vascular calcification. Seldom acknowledged, this crucial vitamin interaction could have a significant impact on your outcomes. To find out your present levels, ask your doctor for a blood test of vitamin D. Then try to maximize them above 40 nanograms per milliliter to preserve as much muscle as possible. The fourth habit, daily control of inflammation. What, therefore, is the commonality among super-agers who possess extraordinary muscle strength? Well, their levels of inflammation are incredibly low. Researchers now know that one of the main causes of muscle loss in the elderly is low-grade, chronic inflammation, sometimes referred to as inflammaging. Muscle protein is broken down more quickly than your body can repair it due to the activation of molecular pathways by this quiet inflammatory process. More worrisome, inflammation inhibits anabolic signals that would typically promote muscle growth following physical activity or protein intake. Regardless of their protein consumption or exercise habits, seniors with the greatest inflammation indicators lost muscle mass 3 times more quickly than those with the lowest levels, according to a seminal study from Tufts University. The super-agers who keep their youthful strength adhere to particular anti-inflammatory practices that the majority of elders ignore. They start by prioritizing the quality of their sleep, obtaining 7 to 8 hours of restful sleep in rooms that are entirely dark. Lack of sleep accelerates muscle breakdown by raising inflammatory cytokines by as much as 40%. Second, they take intestinal health very seriously. According to recent research from the University of California, super-agers eat more than 30 different plant fruits each week, drink a variety of fiber sources every day, and consume fermented foods like kefir, yogurt, and sauerkraut that naturally contain probiotics. Third, they approach workout intensity strategically. Even while regular exercise is important, seniors who engage in too much high-intensity exercise may have an increase in inflammation. Super-agers only do brief, high-intensity workouts once or twice a week, usually working out at a moderate level most days. Last but not least, they regularly include some anti-inflammatory substances, especially omega-3 fatty acids, 2 to 3 grams per day from fatty fish or supplements, curcumin from turmeric, and foods high in polyphenols, such as berries, green tea, and extra virgin olive oil. In just 12 weeks, this combination decreased inflammatory indicators by up to 29%, according to research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Try using a straightforward blood test that measures the high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, or HSCRP, to keep an eye on your inflammation. The average senior has levels 3 to 5 times greater than super-agers, who usually keep them below 1.0 milligrams per liter. The third habit, consuming particular vitamins on a daily basis. Super-agers with extraordinary muscle strength pay close attention to particular micronutrients that directly enhance muscle function and protein synthesis, whereas the majority of dietary advice concentrates on macronutrients like protein, carbohydrates, and fats. These essential nutrients serve as facilitators, enabling your body to optimize the advantages of exercise and make the most of the protein you eat. You can lose muscle mass without them even if you routinely work out and eat a lot of protein. The most important of these is magnesium, which University of Vermont researchers refer to as the neglected electrolyte for muscle health. This mineral, which is necessary for more than 300 enzyme activities linked to muscle function, is lacking in more than 70% of seniors. According to a 2021 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Seniors with optimum magnesium levels performed noticeably better physically and had 30% more grip strength than individuals with even mild deficits. In addition to regularly consuming foods strong in magnesium, such as dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and dark chocolate, super-agers frequently take supplements of highly accessible forms of the mineral, such as magnesium glycinate or threonate. Next up is creatine, which isn't just for bodybuilders in their youth. According to McMaster University research, seniors who used creatine supplements saw a substantial gain in muscle mass, strength, and cognitive function compared to those who only engaged in strength exercise. An anabolic environment can be created by increasing the water content of muscle cells and the production of muscular energy with a daily intake of 3 to 5 grams. Third is methylated B12, a B vitamin that is frequently disregarded. Because we have less stomach acid as we age, we are much less able to absorb B12. Even worse, this vital vitamin is further depleted by popular drugs like proton pump inhibitors and metformin. Nerve and muscle energy production are directly affected by a deficit. Instead of the less expensive type of cobalamin present in most multivitamins, super-agers usually take supplements containing the active form, methylcobalamin. Mineral cofactors such as zinc, selenium, and chromium are equally significant since they directly support insulin sensitivity and protein synthesis, both of which are essential for supplying muscle tissue with nutrition. Over a 5-year period, seniors with appropriate levels of these trace elements maintained up to 22% more muscle mass than those with deficiencies, according to a thorough study from Tufts University. Super-agers usually undergo micronutrient testing to determine their individual deficits and take supplements accordingly, as opposed to taking a generic multivitamin. Instead of wasting money on nutrients they don't need, this individualized strategy guarantees they're meeting their specific biochemical needs. Maintaining your neuromuscular junctions is habit number 2. Most seniors never hear about this fascinating topic. The relationship between your muscles and nerves frequently deteriorates first, so muscle loss isn't simply about the muscle fibers. Your muscles are powered by these connections, which are known as neuromuscular junctions. No matter how much protein you consume or how frequently you exercise, your brain will no longer be able to communicate with your muscles when they deteriorate, a process that speeds up significantly beyond the age of 60. Compared to normal seniors, super-agers with extraordinary strength have exceptionally well-preserved neuromuscular connections, according to a groundbreaking study from the University of Michigan. More intriguingly, researchers have found particular behaviors that can preserve and even repair these vital links. The initial exercise consists of particular movement patterns that call for coordination and accuracy. It has been demonstrated that exercises like Tai Chi, dancing, tennis, or even ping pong can develop neural pathways to muscles in ways that conventional strength training or even just walking cannot. These exercises strengthen the neuromuscular connections by compelling your nervous system to recruit muscle fibers in certain patterns. According to a 2020 study published in the Journal of Physiology, seniors who participated in coordination-demanding activities twice a week preserved their neuromuscular connections 31% better than those who merely did regular exercise. Compounds that specifically promote neuromuscular health are used in the second practice. It has been demonstrated that acetyl L-carnitine and alpha-lipoic acid shield the nerve-muscle link from oxidative damage. Even more encouraging is the fact that several types of vitamin B1, particularly huperzine from Chinese club moss and benfotiamine, can improve acetylcholine, the main neurotransmitter that fires your muscles. Additionally, super-agers use particular breathing techniques that trigger the vagus nerve, which aids in controlling neuromuscular transmission. It has been demonstrated that even 5 minutes a day of simple exercises like box breathing, inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4, expelling for 4, and holding for 4, can increase muscle neural activation by as much as 15%. The relationship between neuromuscular preservation and cognitive engagement is arguably the most intriguing. Seniors who routinely participated in complex cognitive activities maintained noticeably improved muscle function, according to a seminal Columbia University study. The researchers came to the conclusion that by using common neural pathways, mental challenges directly improve your neuromuscular system. Super-agers preserve the vital connections that enable their brains to efficiently activate muscle fibers far into their 80s and beyond by employing these neuromuscular preservation techniques. The first habit is training with progressive resistance. We have found the most significant habit that sets 80-year-olds who are exceptionally strong apart from their contemporaries. Tufts University researchers dubbed this practice the most potent anti-aging medication ever found. Resistance training that is progressive, but not in the manner that most seniors do. The resistance training regimens used by the super-agers, who have strength levels decades below their true ages, directly address the biological processes causing muscle loss. This is a basic fact that most elders never discover. Your muscles work on the concept of use it or lose it, but there's a crucial catch. In order to maintain them, they must be gradually challenged. Maintaining muscular mass after the age of 60 simply cannot be achieved by walking, water aerobics, or utilizing the same light weights every week. What distinguishes the super-agers method? They prioritize intensity over time at the start. Seniors who engaged in twice-weekly, high-intensity resistance training that was nearly exhausting grew more muscle than those who engaged in 5 times weekly, moderate-intensity training, according to research from McMaster University. Reaching what exercise physiologists refer to as transient muscle failure, the point at which you are unable to execute another repetition with proper form, is crucial. For up to 72 hours after exercise, this triggers the production of muscle proteins by sending strong anabolic signals. Second, complicated motions that work several muscle groups at once are preferred by super-agers. They frequently use modified forms of squats, deadlifts, rows, presses, and pulls that are suitable for their joint health and range of motion. Compared to solitary exercises like leg extensions or bicep curls, these actions cause a stronger hormonal reaction. Third, they employ progressive overload, which entails progressively raising the level of difficulty or resistance over time. Using the same weights month after month causes stagnation because your muscles adjust to whatever stress you put on them. Super-agers keep a log of their workouts and push themselves to do a little bit more each time. Fourth, they emphasize eccentric or lowering exercise phases, which have been shown to be very beneficial for older person strength development. Lowering weights gradually puts less strain on joints and more tension on muscle fibers. The effectiveness of this strategy, even for those who start late, is what's really amazing. In just 12 weeks, participants in their 70s who started progressive resistance training acquired an average of 3.3 pounds of muscle and had a 35% boost in strength, according to a groundbreaking study from the University of Alabama. These benefits were matched by equally impressive gains in bone density, cognitive function, and blood glucose control. What is the most frequent error made by seniors then? That's because they think resistance training is risky or superfluous for their age. In actuality, skipping resistance training is even riskier since it permits the progressive loss of muscle to go unchecked, which ultimately results in fragility, falls, and diminished independence. Progressive resistance training is the habit you should adopt if you only adopt one from this entire video. To guarantee correct form, start under a professional supervision. Then, start at a level of intensity that is suitable for your present level of fitness and work your way up. The course of your aging can be significantly altered by even 2 30-minute sessions per week. Here are the 7 research-backed behaviors that help some 80-year-olds keep their muscle mass comparable to that of persons decades younger. Choose the habit that seems easiest for you to adopt today, and then progressively add the others. The investment you're making today in your long-term independence and strength will be appreciated by your future self. We'd like to hear from you now. Which of these 7 behaviors do you currently follow, and which one caught you off guard the most? Do you know anyone who is exceptionally strong for their age, who is in their 70s or 80s? Please leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. Hearing them would be wonderful. Thank you for viewing.